then you verbalize. First you move, then you have the power. First comes the action, then comes the motivation. You see, starting from the bottom is not a deficit. That was the gift. You see, salesmen should have never been called salesmen. Salespeople should have never been called salespeople. We should have been called servants from the first day. A salesperson is first off a person that can sell themselves to themselves. They have an absolute catching belief about their product, their service, their company, their conviction. They shine with something that we call conviction. That's what the top salespeople do. So let me hear you guys ready to go pro? Let's go! We each have a challenge today and during this event. The challenge for us is to give you the aha moments, the program, the most powerful computer that there is. The challenge for me is to give you the aha moment, that you start thinking differently, not just today, but for the rest of your life. You see, I started off in 2008 as a professional trick-or-treater, as my mentor says, a trick-or-treat specialist. But before I was a trick-or-treat specialist, I was a golf caddy. 16 years old, carrying 2 golf bags on my shoulders, watching my parents get down to their last $20. So today you're going to be hearing from the 16-year-old golf caddy. You're going to be hearing from the 18-year-old that saw his parents get down to his last $20. I'm going to start off by telling you decisions decide your wealth. There's something that I had from the very beginning of this journey, or as my mentor says, the continuous journey towards the achievement of predetermined worthwhile goals. And it's something called absolute certainty. That's why we refer to the stone cold trapper as the highest level of a sales professional, the very top. So if you're ready to go pro, my first question to you is, what does it mean to be a pro? I want to hear from you guys. What is a professional in your opinion? Start telling me what a professional is. What's a professional? A specialist. What else? Service. What else? Consistent. Expert. What type of professionals are there that you would consider a professional, a pro? Athlete, lawyer, doctors. What does a lawyer call their office? A practice. You see, the common word with any professional is the word practice. Practice does not make perfect, only perfect practice makes perfect. You see, the craziest things is if you took the doctors, the dentists, the lawyers, the athletes, and you combined all of them, the sales professional out-earns all of them combined. But there's one thing that we lack compared to all these other professions, the doctors, the dentists, the lawyers. If I wanted to be a doctor, could I graduate high school and start performing open heart surgery? What would I have to do? I'd have to go to school, and I have to pay for the school, and once I got that degree, then could I start performing? I'd have to go to something called residency. You see, these professionals, they work years and years and years and years before they get their professional contract. Well, I'm going to give you your first aha moment right now. Every single one of you guys has your professional contract sitting right in front of you. This is the year that you put your last name on your back and you say, this is the year we're going to make the plays. Because you can make plays or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. You can't make both. So if you're ready to make these plays, it's time to put your last name on your back. It's time for you to go to your significant other. It's time for you to go to that person that is your who, which we're going to talk about here shortly, and say, this is the year we're going to make it. This is the year I'm putting our family name on our back. This is the year I'm setting us up for decades. What does it mean to be pro? Effort, learning, time investment. And one thing that a lot of us don't do is dedicated sacrifice. Next to the word success should be sacrifice. But the question you need to ask yourself is, do you have the willingness to pay the price? Paying the price that it takes to be great. Paying the price to say, hey, I'm going to do whatever it takes. One thing I always said to myself was losing was never an option. Losing is not an option. Failure is not an option. I never see failure as failure, but only as the game that I must play to win. I never see failure as failure, but a chance to develop my sense of humor. I never see failure as failure, but only as the ability to be amused by hostile people and turned on by rejection. We're the only creatures that face rejection on a day-to-day basis. I'm proud to call myself a door-to-door salesman. People tell us to get a real job. Well, we do have a real job. We're professional servants, so give it up for yourself. 99% of people could not do what we do because 99% of people could not handle it. So I want to let you know I'm proud of all of you guys. I'm so proud of you. In events like this, throughout my journey, started in 2008, I'd come to an event like this, and all life is growth and contribution. You learn something and then you teach it. But when I came to events like this throughout my journey, when I left, I said, damn, I want to work so for that company. I want to do whatever it takes to take everybody's game to the next level. And I'm so excited to share some ideas that I have with you guys today, but really to create a vision with you. Because communication is what makes that vision a reality. I started off by saying if you can visualize it and then you verbalize it, that's how you can actually accomplish the things that you want. The purpose of knowledge is not knowledge, it's action. I'm going to repeat that. The purpose of knowledge today and throughout this event is not knowledge, it's going to be the action that we take.
But to build tactics into them. And you build tactics only one way. Practice, drill, rehearse. There is no other way to go.
Who's that guy? Who? J. Douglas Edwards, the father of modern day selling. I got my first gift for you, exclusive audio. If you've never scanned this QR code, you might want to take your phones out and scan it, because J. Douglas Edwards is known as the father of modern day selling. He taught my mentor, and my mentor taught me. And the thing about J. Douglas Edwards is he'd come on stage and he'd be like, he'd have a nasty one-liner. He's like, "This one is murder," and he would rip the sauce. And I want to share a quick story. When I first met my mentor, I was 24 years old, and I sat down at a restaurant with this individual, and I said, "Hey, what would be the best 3 pieces of advice that you would give me?" And this changed my life. He said, first off, we must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. You see, too many people are strobe lights where they enter the selling zone, they exit the selling zone, they enter the selling zone, they exit the selling zone. You see, there's strobe lights. They're on and off rather than being the laser beam. So we must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. The second thing he told me was we have to do what we fear most. Fear is false evidence appearing real, stepping out of your comfort zone. And the third piece of advice came from this individual, Mr. J. Douglas Edwards. You see, he used to travel by coach bus. He did 80 seminars in the course of 85 days, and he was up on stage, and he was absolutely ripping. And my mentor, he was usually a front row guy. His cab had broken down, so he was in the back of the room. And Mr. Edwards was absolutely ripping on stage, and he went to go grab his water, and he fell off of the stage. He passed out. They called an ambulance. They loaded him up on a stretcher. They loaded him into an ambulance. My mentor grabbed a cab, and he said, "Follow that ambulance to the hospital." He waited at the hospital. He finally got into the hospital, waited in the waiting room, and he said, finally saw Mr. Edwards, and he said, "Mr. Edwards, I have a question for you. Why do you give so much?" And the response is probably the best piece of advice I've ever got in my entire life. He said, "The reason why we give so much is because we always have to give people way more than they expect." And that's what we intend to do here at Solar Pros, is to serve, to elevate, to be able to help you get to what you want in your life, because if you help other people get what they want, you're going to get everything that you want in your life. Okay? It's time for a checkup from the neck up today. It's time to get your mental protein. It's time to stop checking our Facebooks and start facing our checkbooks, because this is the year you guys are going to make it. But it's got to be you that makes that decision. It's got to be your desire, as we're going to talk about here shortly. What is emergence?
What's up, Solar Pros? Woo! How are we doing? So, emergence. It's a really unique word, and I want to talk really quick about what it means. Some of you guys have seen a lot of my trainings, and I talk a lot about like mental models, how the universe works, how our reality is crafted. And before I go into the definition, there's examples of emergence all around us all the time. We see it every day. It's our reality. And the definition of emergence is this. Emergence occurs when individual components interact and their collective behavior gives rise to complex outcomes that cannot be accomplished otherwise. And I want to focus on this last part really quick. gives rise to complex outcomes that cannot be accomplished otherwise. Raise your hand if you think any individual in this room can do what collectively we can do. It's not possible, right? So I think when we're talking about emergence, and when we see it in the universe, just so you guys understand, like individual cells in your body emerge and become an organism, right? Individual stars in the universe emerge and become galaxies. Individual trees become a forest, right? So when I think about emergence and when I look in this room and I talk about emergence, what does emergence mean to us, right? And emergence to me, and emergence for us, is individual high performers. Keep that in mind. Individual high performers combine and emerge as a thriving organization. So how do we do that? And when I think about how we do it, there's three things that come to mind, and three things that I think we focus on to emerge as a thriving organization, right? The first thing is culture creates consistency. I've had the opportunity to go to some of the offices out here. The culture is crazy. When you look at the top teams, when you see turf wars, when you see these competitions, and you see these top teams, you know who you guys are. It's not that they're better at sales. It's not that they're working more hours. Like, those things play into it for sure. But when you go to those offices, and if you're in one of those offices, you know, the culture is insane, right? I see Motion up front. Shout out to Motion. Culture's crazy. Mambas, where the Mambas at? Mambas, right? Other teams, you're not left out. These are just guys that I've had the chance of working with, and their culture is insane. That's why they're producing at a really high level, is because how you do anything is how you do everything. So the next thing that I want to talk about really quick is training eliminates trying. I know you guys have heard us say this a ton. Who's heard this before? If you haven't, you will. And the reason why we say this, training eliminates trying, is because if you're not where you want to be, you just have to work till you get there. There's nothing different between myself, Taylor, anybody in this room. When you look at the top people, the major difference is they probably just put a little bit more time and effort into the training and not the trying, right? And then the last thing, which is really important to me, just to touch briefly, some of you know who I am, some of you don't. I've been in door-to-door industry my entire life. It's my life's work, 16 years, and you can't build your reputation based on what you're going to do. Let me say that again. You can't build your reputation based on what you are going to do, right? So legacy is built on loyalty, and I think something that's huge, and I was at Vivint Solar. I was one of the first 100 employees there, and I watched it grow from a room much smaller than this into what it was. And I genuinely, I'm not just saying this because I'm up here, I genuinely look at this room in the amount of time that this room has grown to this size, and I promise this will be bigger, and you want to be a part of it at a high level. You want to be part of that emergence, and I think just being in this room right now, like, who in here can feel the energy in this room, right? When you're looking around, and shout out to the marketing team for putting this together, but shout out. So when you look at these three things, to me, I've built really high-level teams, and I've worked in crazy offices that the culture, the training, and the loyalty is just really on point. However, there's one word that is more important than any other word when it comes to your life.
And that word is purpose. You can be a meaningful specific or a wandering generality, but being able to have purpose. You see, last week I helped a 91-year-old individual, get away from the mercy of the power company. He was a mechanical engineer, and he was really, really smart. And I said, Don, what's one of the best pieces of advice that you would give me? And he told Taylor, it's so important that we stand behind our convictions. Like we talked about at the beginning, the top salespeople, they shine with conviction. They have an absolute catching belief about themselves, their product, their service, why they're doing it, and who they're doing it for. But this is the year we stand behind our convictions. This is the year that we put our last name on our back. Communication is what makes that vision a reality, and contact beats content. The communication that you have will beat any sort of content. It's visualizing it up here and having the courage to actually verbalize it out loud. You see, whatever's in your awareness is in your control. What's outside of your awareness is outside of your control. But for me, it started with clarity, because that clarity creates the conviction creates the belief creates the energy creates the repetition creates the mastery creates professionalism, the professionalism creates service, the service creates your life's work creates freedom, and freedom creates your life. Freedom creates your life. So you ready to go pro?
The day you turn pro is the day you realize that attitude in selling is everything. Attitude is something you must build within yourself. You see, the most important thing you've got every day is your enthusiasm, your excitement for the job that you do in serving people. People will say yes to you more in your conviction, your excitement, your enthusiasm than anything else. And if you don't have it in here, you can't transmit it out there. They drill, they rehearse. How often do you sit in front of a mirror and give your presentation and they laugh? Yet you studied so hard to pass an exam, to avoid an F, to impress your parents. What we're giving you is material that will impress everybody because of your income. Give them the best, and they'll thank you in the years ahead. That I can promise you.
I get emotional watching that video because a lot of people ask me what the greatest sale that I've ever made was, and that was making the decision to become a professional salesperson. And people ask me one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, and it was finding a mentor, the exact mentor, the greatest sales trainer of all time that's ever lived on this planet, that's been able to set me up with so many opportunities and give me this vision. And he's actually here with us today. Tom, if you could take a stand, and everyone, guys, let's get on our feet for this guy right here. One of the coolest things to be able to present, because I'm talking through Tom talked through J. Douglas Edwards, and I say that there's 3 people that you need to be able to find on your journey. You need to find that person that you wish to emulate, that person you want to be with, be like. You want to find that person you're competing with, and you also want to find that person that you're mentoring. Right? When you guys have people shadow you, do you sell better or worse? You sell a lot better because you affirm what you're going to do. Affirmation without discipline is delusion. But when you affirm what you're going to do and take action, that's how you make the plays. And then for the longest time, I used to think my biggest competitor was myself. And the truth was, it isn't myself. I'm going to be very blunt with you guys today. My biggest competitor is the devil, trying to get me to get off track and not do the things that I want to do. And if you've ever listened to Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, you'll understand why I think that way. So I really wanted to share that with you because, once you realize that, you're going to understand that you have certain kryptonites that are holding you back. And when you are real with yourself, you have that decision to make. Do I want to take the path of the amateur, or do I want to take the path of the professional? Like I said, you can make plays or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. And, Tom, I have to say, I'm so thankful for you. This is my life's work, and, I'm so happy to be able to, take your legacy to the next level. And Tom's actually a solar pro, so super excited. You'll see him in our training program, and we got the best training and the best team. Shout out to Jordan, absolutely crushed it. And the next person I'm going to have come up as an absolute OG. But your success in 2025 will almost entirely depend on your ability to keep your composure.
Will you turn to the person next to you really quick? Look them in the eyes. I want it to feel just slightly uncomfortable. I want you to look them in the eyes, and I don't want you to break eye contact for just a second. And repeat after me. Are you ready? All right. You're looking at him. I want this to be super clear. Repeat after me. This is your year. 2025 is your year. Let's go! Woo! Hey, welcome to the Full Throttle event. Let's go. We shocked the solar industry in 2024 and did things that no one thought we would do, and they have no idea what's coming in 2025. Not a clue. The biggest battle that we are going to face this year is not one of our competitors. It's not. We work in an industry full of noise. I see some people nodding their heads. It's full of people that are obsessed with predicting the future. They love to watch and spectate. They love to try to predict what's around the corner. They sit in closed doors rooms and they talk endlessly. You probably know some of these people. Maybe you've been one of these people. I think we're all guilty of this to one degree or another. They want to talk to you about Sonova. They want to talk to you about tariffs. They want to talk to you about Sunrun's stock price. Sound familiar? They want to talk to you about Trump and what he might do and what he might not do. Sound familiar? The most successful reps this year are going to be the reps that keep their composure while everyone else loses theirs. It's going to be the reps that lock in and black out the noise. It's going to be the people that double down on their vision and put on their blinders and do what they do best. Training will be your greatest tool this year to weather the uncertainty that so easily infects our industry. Training is the antidote to uncertainty. We work in an industry where a lot of things are out of our control. We live in a world where a lot is out of our control. But training has been and will always be the one thing that you can control. Training tells you, uncertainty tells you to fear the unknown and to fear the future. It tells you to hop onto your news feed and scroll through to stay updated and figure out what's the latest, who's on top, who's on the bottom, who's on the up, who's on the down, who's next. Training prepares you to face the future. Uncertainty tells you to watch for what might happen, and training gives you the tools to go make it happen. Uncertainty tells you that your success is going to be found in some magical market, some highly anticipated financing product. Uncertainty tells you to look at the forecast and wait for the perfect weather. Training teaches you how to weather the storm. It teaches you how to create success. Uncertainty tells you to search for where the laydowns are. Training teaches you to create laydowns. If you want control over your life and over your year, double down on your training. We're going to go next year. So, you may have known. Give me some noise if you've heard about the arena training platform that just came out. Anyone sound familiar? We have. I want to tell you a little bit about this name. This program is really designed to help brand new setters, brand new closers, and brand new first-year managers, to give you everything you need to know to go out on your first day and set, close, and lead. It's a privilege to be able to work with Taylor, Jordan, the marketing team, and the leaders at Pros that have just put together an absolute clinic. We chose this name, The Arena. Maybe you've heard of a poem by a guy named Theodore Roosevelt. There's a lot of people in our industry that like to spectate and point out how the strong man stumbles, or how the doer of deeds could have done them better. But the only person that matters in this race is the man who stays in the arena, the man who stays on the doors, the man who pounds the pavement, the person who's in homes, making it happen. Our job and our hope is that this training platform is going to give you the confidence, the conviction, the tools, and the skills to sharpen your axe and to go out and be effective and have your time spent in the best possible way. Our hope is that this year you'll be able to access all of the modules, all of these videos, and watch them like game film. Here's the reality of training. You're going to know 90% of this, maybe more. Some of you might know 99% of this. That's okay. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is usually a percentage point or two. It's a degree or two. If you look through these modules and say, this sounds familiar, good. Search. Training, you're searching for treasure. You're searching for gold. And I promise you, no matter how much experience you have, whether you are a brand new rep that just signed on with the pros, or if you've spent the better half of a decade learning the ins and outs of this industry, there's something in here for you. And so during this year, our challenge is stay composed, stay focused, tune out the noise, forget the news feed, do your job. People still don't like their utility bills, in case you were wondering. Utility rates aren't going down, in case you were wondering. And the grid didn't get newer in the last 6 months, in case you're wondering. The problems are still there. And our product is more relevant than it's ever been. So let's go out and freaking do it. Let's give it up for Taylor.
Let's go, brother. Jackson, absolute beast. So you're ready to go pro. You want to disappear. You want to move up to that next level. You're going to need to duplicate. Duplication is your impact that you have. You see, you'll never disappear unless you duplicate. You're never going to duplicate unless you document, which is your story. Nobody wants to be managed. Nobody wants to be recruited. People want to be impressed, and to impress other people, we must be impressive. We must work harder on ourselves than we do at our work. You want to document and have a story, you're going to need to demonstrate. That's you actually executing. You see, most sales trainers don't go to the field anymore because they'd get exposed. They're scared of the field. Well, that's my secret weapon, going out there and getting better every single day. You're never going to demonstrate unless you have discipline. That's your behavior. And where does all achievement start? It starts with you having a desire. You see, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it isn't a why. And a lot of the time, your why is your who. You see, vulnerability is the birthplace to innovation. For me, watching my dad struggle, get down to his last $20, watching him buy me a pack of baseball cards every week. He hurt his leg. He didn't buy himself anything. You know what I said? I said, I'm going to make my dad proud. When I was 18 years old, I bought him a HD TV. 4 years ago, I bought my dad his own house. Remember I said communication is what makes the vision a reality. Sometimes that communication with yourself. Who is your who? Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation. I want to give a few guys the chance to be a little vulnerable right now. Does anybody want to share who their who is? Who they're doing this? If you raise your hand, we're going to have a mic ran to you. And when you can verbalize things in front of people like this, that's how you're going to guarantee success and achieve the things you want. By a show of hands, does anybody want to share who their who is?
My name's Cisco. I started doing solar about a month ago, and who's my mom. I feel like I resonate with a lot of the things you said. You know, I want to make her proud, and I want to show her that she raised a good young man.
Let's give it up for Cisco. Who is their who? Let's get some hands up. Got one right here, just whoever. We'll come over here after. Who is their who? Who is your who?
I have two little boys. Well, my name's Luke. I have two little boys. One's 2, the other's 4 months old, married. I, want to give them the life, the best life they deserve. I need a bigger house. That's the first thing. But there's a whole list. But it's my boys and my wife.
Let's go, Luke. Let's go. Luke just had his first self-gen, too. Let's go, brother. Who is your who right here?
Hey, my name is Leo. And my who is my parents, my mom and dad. I really want to make them proud. I used to kind of be a very bad kid when I was younger, so I want to make it up to them and show them that, they can be proud of me. So
let's go.
Yeah.
You verbalized that to them, and you're going to make it happen. Let's give it up for Leo. Who is your who? We got a mic runner. The mic runners are going to hand you the mic.
I'm James. My mom just got out of the hospital, and I have a girl that I want to ask to marry me. So those are my who's, those are my dreams, and that's what I'm doing all this shit for.
Let's go. Hey, enthusiasm is 50% of sales. The next person that shares their who, I want to give it up for them. Who's it going to be? Right here. Who's your who, brother?
Hello, my name is KT. I've been in the business for a month now. My who is my grandma. She's had stage 4 breast cancer since my 8th grade year. And she hasn't gave up on me on a day one, so I want to give back what she gave to me when she barely has anything on her plate.
You're going to make it happen for her. Let's go! Let's go! We'll go to 2 or 3 more. Who's your who in the back waving his hand after? We'll go right here and then right to the back. 2 or 3 more.
Hey guys, my name is Ronnie. My who is my little brother Ryan. I love him to death. My dad and also my mom. Specifically for my dad because he's done everything for me since baseball all the way to college and to this. He still believes in me every day, so I'm gonna do it for them.
Let's go, Ronnie. I believe in you, brother. If you need a speedster on your flag football team, that kid's wicked fast. Next, who's your who in the back here? We'll go 2 or 3 more. Maybe we'll hit somebody in the way back, too.
I'm right here. My name is Gabriel. Over here, in the middle.
All right, I see you.
My name's Gabriel, and my who's myself. I have sold myself that I can do this. I have sold myself that I will fail and fail and fail again, but I will get back up, and I have to win. There's no other way to move forward. I'm going to stay in the same place if I don't do anything different. So I've sold myself, and it's because of me, what I do every single day to motivate myself, to get up, to move forward, to step forward, even when it's hard, even when I don't want to. And it's because of the boys around me and the community and the culture that is moving me forward.
Bro, you fire me up right there. You know why that kid's going to win? Is because he's got faith, he's got courage, and he's got enthusiasm. You just verbalize it in front of thousands of people. When you're up on stage next year, it's because you verbalize that. I love it. A couple more people. Who's your who?
Right here. My name is Genesis. I'm from the Dominican Republic. I'm representing the South Side. My whys are my kids and myself, so I do this for them.
Let's go. Right here. We'll go last one right here. If we don't have a mic, go right here. Or right here and then, right here. And then maybe one in the back to finish it off. Last 2.
Hi, guys. My name's Luke. I know we already been through another Luke, but I would say my why, and it's kind of cliche, but it'd be my mom and my future kids, because obviously, you want to get back to my mom. She was a single parent. I had 4 brothers, so it wasn't easy. So definitely want to get back to her, and obviously my future kids, right? And this world's kind of messed up. Definitely want to be able to bring them into something decent. So, yeah.
Make the plays now, brother. Let's go. Let's give it up for everybody that shared who their who is. That was awesome. Love that. Next slide. One more? We got one more? All right, we got one more. One more in the back.
We got one more.
One more.
Taylor, I had to stand up and share. I started door-to-door 32 years ago. 27 years have been spent on doors. And my why, my who, has never changed. It's been my family all along. And yesterday, my 23-year-old decided he wants to do this too.
"32 years, we got a veteran." That was awesome, man. And you're going to show him that vision. And a lot of you guys that aren't even 32 years old, you weren't even born yet when he started trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treat specialist to the max up there. So before I explain the AI, I want you guys to take a picture of this. This is an unlisted YouTube video where you can see how effective and how cool the AI is. So take a picture of this. See me battle the AI. It was one of the hardest customers I've ever faced. But as we talk about AI, there's an individual that I want to be able to bring up to the stage and actually show you how crazy this is and how it's going to innovate sales training. How many of you guys know about what AI is? So I'll tell you a funny story. When I went back up to Boston, I was sitting down. My dad was in his rocking chair, and he goes, "Taylor, do you have that Al guy on your phone?" And I said, "What do you mean, Al?" He's like, "Oh, I can tell you stuff and all this." I said, "I don't know about any Al," and I found out he was trying to talk about AI. But being innovative, being creative, super excited to announce this program. So to announce the competition that you guys will be in during lunch and to explain how this AI will integrate into sales training, I want to bring up Mr. Dane Myers. Let's give it up for Dane.
Solar Pro! What's popping, y'all? When I say solar, y'all say pros. Solar? Pro. Solar. Pro. When I say A, you say I. A. A. Thank you guys for welcoming me here. I just came here from San Francisco. I have a tech company that does sales training with AI. And I'm here to tell you a few of the ways that the AI is going to change sales training. And I was going to come up here and talk about it. How many people have used ChatGPT? This better be a lot of you right now. Okay, cool. How many people have written a Waymo? It's wild. I did it for the first time. So it's amazing technology. We're bringing it to solar sales. And I thought to have you, the benefit of this is that Taylor can't hang out with all of you all the time. And Taylor doesn't even have time to be up on stage with me right now. He's really busy. So I thought I would just bring up AI Taylor here to talk about the program and share some info. You guys going to welcome AI Taylor up here?
At Solar Pros is really excited about bringing this new AI technology to our reps. Just imagine if I had the time to work with each one of you one-on-one whenever you wanted. That's what this AI can facilitate. Learning is evolving, and instead of just consuming information and regurgitating it, this AI understands your skills, identifies your weaknesses, and gives you
Wait, hang on. We have a bunch of reps here who are really skilled already. Can you tell me some of the ways that this is going to be able to help people who already are out on the doors working in the field?
Great question. For those skilled reps already out there, this AI will take your existing strengths and elevate them even further. By understanding your individual skills and the areas where you may need improvement, it offers personalized practice sessions that target your specific gaps. This way you can sharpen your abilities and master techniques that could significantly boost your performance and earnings as a solar professional. It's like having a personal coach that adapts to your needs, making it more realistic than ever.
Can you teach me something right now?
Absolutely, but first, what's your purpose? What drives you in this business?
Great Taylor question. My purpose is to be able to help people get the best tools to promote clean energy all around the world. They're boots on the ground doing the hard work. So that's what I'm here to do, is bring AI to solar.
That's a powerful purpose, Dane. If you stand behind that purpose with conviction, you'll truly deserve to be a pro in this field. Remember, it's all about serving others and elevating their experiences.
Let's go. Y'all give it up for AI Taylor. All right. So next, I want to tell you guys about this competition that we're going to do. We're going to see who out there has got the skills to pay the bills, y'all. So while we go out to lunch, we're going to do a competition. You can scan this QR code. I'm going to show you how to get logged in. The most important thing for all you iPhone people out there, I'm going to start with this. Do not have your phone on silent. Have your ringer on. Do not have Do Not Disturb mode on, because you're not going to be able to hear it if you do that. So go ahead and get the QR code. I'm going to show you where that goes. Let's see here. And the first thing that you're going to do, I have too many things in my hands. Can you all see all this stuff? The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to come to Docebo. You're going to come to the arena here, and you're going to find this course. And like I said, you're going to make sure your ringer is on. You're going to click Start Practice, and then you're going to be kicked over to here, which is Rolly. This is the role-playing software that you're going to get logged into. And you're just going to fill this stuff out. You're going to use your, oh, I forgot something. Let me back up. When you go to Docebo, if you have never logged into Docebo before, into the arena, we reset your password to be welcome with a capital W, 123. So if you have your password already, log in. If you've never logged in before, your password probably got reset last night. That way that you can log in and not have to do a reset password. You're going to come here. You're going to create a second account. This keeps your leaderboard score for how you do in the role play. So you're going to sign in here. That is going to take you to a door that you're going to knock on. And when you knock on this door, I know we're getting to lunch, so I'm going to make this really quick. It's going to be like this. Hello. Allow microphone. When you hear that boom, that means that it's your turn to do your part. And you're going to go back and forth. You're going to try to get this as far as you can. From not interested, curious, get the electric bill, see if there's a corner of a table to set your stuff down to see if you can get inside the home. On the door, you're a pest, and the home, you're a guest, right? And then you're going to see if you can get all the way to a one-sit close, but the challenge is you only have 5 minutes. So be on your toes, focus on what he's telling you are his objections, see what you can do. We're going to have a live leaderboard up here, and I think I can go ahead and announce this. There's going to be a $1,000 prize for the #1 spot who can run the gambit, sign it in the quickest time, all right? And a few more tips for this. You're going to want to have good signal, and you're going to want to have a place that's not really loud. So if you're having trouble, find a place that's not, just go ahead and find a place that's quiet and a place that has good signal for you. Because you're only going to get one chance. If you try to knock on this person's door again, they're not even going to answer it, okay? Alrighty, and with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Taylor, and you guys are going to be on your way to lunch soon. Thank you so much for having me here, guys.
All right, let's give it up for Dane. Couple of quick housekeeping. Everyone's going to be back in here for 2:30. 2:30, we're coming back. You have until 2:30 to actually get through the role play. Everybody also has vouchers for lunch. Those are in your gift bags, okay? So the vouchers are in your gift bags. We're going to be back here for 2:30 after lunch. You have until 2:30. There will also be a live leaderboard to see the top 3 individuals. The top 3 individuals will then come up on stage for the final challenge, and the winner will get $1,000 cash. But before we break, I need everybody on your feet. We're just going to get pros, but we're going to start with a whisper. We're going to get all the way to the top, and I want to hear the people in the back. I want to see who's the loudest. I want the people outside at school right now to hear us. Okay, so we're going to start in a whisper, and we're going to work our way with just pros, but we're going to start in a whisper. Let's hear it. Pros, 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 pros. Let's get it. We'll see you guys back at 2:30 for lunch.